Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new here. My name is Paula. I'm a single mother to one baby girl. I just graduated nursing school and we have just begun my third journey, I think, or let's just say a journey, because it doesn't really matter. We're not keeping score. We have started a journey to become debt free. I feel like once and for all. And my goal is to never be broke again, okay? So in this video today, I wanted to go ahead and kind of give us the game plan. My last video was me kind of doing a full debt overview for you guys so that you guys knew how much debt I was in, where the debt kind of came from, and what accounts I had debt with. So with that being said, if you are not familiar with those numbers, go ahead and watch that video before you jump back into this one. But today we are going to be going over my game plan so that I can get prepared to start cash stuffing. I'm so excited to start cash stuffing for you guys so soon here. Thank you so much for everybody that was in my comment section on my last video, all the well wishes, all of the love. I so appreciate it. I love you guys too. Welcome to all of my new subscribers as well as all my old subscribers. I'm so happy that you guys are here and have joined me on another one of my journey. Last video we went over my full debt picture. I have the main figure right here. The overall figure is $70,601.60. Like I said, if you want the breakdown of where all of this debt comes from, definitely make sure to go ahead and check out that last video that I made. So the main things that I want to go over in this video with you guys is my current bills, the cash envelopes that we will be using this time around, my credit card payoff like flow, like which cards I'm going to pay off first, like am I doing snowball, avalanche type method. Then we're going to go over my debt payoff tracker and talk about like any emergency funds that I currently have, so that you guys know all of the things that I have going on financially, just so that, you know, for transparency's sake and so that everything makes sense whenever I'm talking about things. And then lastly, we're gonna go with the goals for this year. Like, what do I want to accomplish financial wise? What are we looking forward to when it comes to my finances? So sorry you guys if you've noticed a change in my voice. I'm a little bit under the weather still. My daughter got me sick. She has some daycare cooties, whatever, whatnot. And so me and a couple other people in my household have been a little bit under the weather for a couple of days now. I'm on the tail end of it now, so thank goodness for that. So yes, let's go ahead and get into it. I think I want to go ahead and of course bring my iPad here so that you guys can kind of have a visual of what I'm talking about. So let's go ahead and start with that. So I'm just going to go ahead and make a new page for you guys so that we can all see here, be on the same page, and I'll just start writing from scratch. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is my current bills. Like I said, I just graduated from nursing school. I'm about 2 weeks out. I do currently have a job. I am a nurse extern on an ICU unit, and shouts out to the young lady that messaged me, not messaged me, but she left me a comment, and she also just graduated nursing school. She's a mother baby, and she wanted to know what unit I'm on. Yes, I accepted a job offer in a trauma ICU here in my city, so I'm super excited to start that journey as well, learning everything that I can learn. We have several systems, and we're taking care of some of the sickest people that you have ever seen. So yes, that's pretty exciting for me. It's going to be an amazing learning experience. So yeah, that's where I'm going to be, for anybody else that wanted to know that information. So yes, first things first, I'm going to brighten the screen a little bit because I can barely see it. I don't know if y'all can see it. We have a candle today. I just thought that would kind of help the vibe and the mood. I thought it was going to give me a little bit more light on this side, but it doesn't look like it, but it's not that big of a deal. So anyways, let's go ahead and talk about my current bills. I'm gonna just name this because this looks weird. Paula's bills. Anyways, my segue was just got out of nursing school. I'm not paying any rent right now. So these might seem, a little minuscule, minute, but I'm also not earning a complete full paycheck just yet. I'm on PRN status. So I'm able to work, well, my mandatory days is twice a month. Before school ended, I was able to work a little bit more. So I kind of tried to ramp up my work hours while I was on the tail end of school, which was good because now they've hired so many nurse externs that a lot of us are not able to work so much overtime like we were used to doing, which I'm fine with because like I said, I'm about to go ahead and take my little test, girl. I'm about to go ahead and take this test. I'm gonna go ahead and pass this test and start working as a nurse. And once I'm a nurse orienting, I will be on a full-time paycheck. I'll have my mandatory 3 days a week and not 2 days a month, and hopefully getting overtime, being on call, blah, 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 blah. That is not the lifestyle I'm trying to live. I'm trying to know what my days of work are and be there on time every time, okay? So moving on, let's go ahead and go over my bills that I have. So my first bill that I have, or that I consider to be my bill, is going to be gas because this comes on a weekly basis for me. This is something that I can't get away from. So we have gas. My gas, I drive a 2017 Hyundai Elantra. She's really great on gas. I use about $35 in gas each week. So I want to make sure that I'm having money allocated to that every time. The next bill that we have is going to be Honor's tuition. This is definitely second. I would say this is my second most important, like, expense, because obviously this is my daughter being taken care of. Gas, I have to get places, have to get her to daycare, okay? So daycare is going to be second. This one is $340 a week for her daycare. Sorry, this is about to be going all wonky. I don't have any lines. I don't need any lines right now because I'm trying to write big. So it's going to be a little bit wonky, but yes, her daycare is $340. For anybody that's looking into daycare, I feel like that's pretty standard. They have gone up on the price. It used to be around $330, and then every year it was supposed to go down, but because staffing costs a little bit more now, and food costs more and stuff like that, they've gone up. So her rate right now is $330, but then come August, because their tuition year goes on like regular school years because they think they're a school, which that I spend money like she's paying going to a private school, but they act as if they're a school. So they restart in August, and so her rate will be $340 for 3-year-olds, the 3-year-old room. The 2-year-old room right now is $330, and it was supposed to be $320 as she went up, but because they raised the prices, it's $340 now. So I just want to make sure that that's the number that's on my mind and I'm not $10 short. So we'll get more into that a little bit later. So yeah, the next expense for her is going to be her sports. I do have her in a little activity. I have her in gymnastics right now, and I pay for that monthly. This price has also gone up. However, I'm paying the same price. I don't know if it's because like we're grandfathered in before the price jump, but at least for the section that she's in right now, I'm paying $68 a month for that, and it's $68 on the dot. So yeah, we go once a week. This is how much I'm paying. I think it's supposed to go up to around 85, maybe 95. But like I said, that's the rate we're paying right now. I'm thinking we're grandfathered in. However, she will be moving up soon into the preschool age, like 3 to 5. It's a little bit more structured. I'm very much so looking forward to it. And I want to have her do 2 days a week, but that's, I think, $150. And I'm like, oh no, I cannot swing that right now. So we're going to keep her in her age range right now, which is the $68 class. For once a week, we go on Saturdays, and it's a great time. So we're going to keep her on that for now. The next bill that I have, it's a new bill that I just created for myself, LOL. It's a Cook Unity subscription. So I just started Cook Unity because I have like, if you've watched some of my older videos and like my birth story with Honora, I figured out that I have an autoimmune condition, and it's, when it comes to this condition, it's very, very important that you're as healthy as you can be, because that helps alleviate flare-ups, makes flare-ups not as bad, and makes them less frequent, right? So this condition started mainly when I got pregnant with her. It started to flare up because of the hormones. It's kind of a hormonal situation. So with that being said, I'm trying to get on a health journey now where I'm really prioritizing my health, taking it seriously, because the way that I feel is absolutely awful. Like when I flare up, it's a systemic kind of issue. You're down for the count. It's painful. It's absolutely horrible. So I'm trying to really make sure that I put a lot of effort into taking care of myself. I am on medication now for it to help kind of keep my hormones in check so that it doesn't flare up as much. And then I'm also on some supplements as well, just to make sure that it doesn't get out of hand. And I definitely do feel better on it. Thank God for that, because I was really lost in the sauce for a moment. So with that being said, I was like, I need something, because me taking the time to meal prep is not going to work right now. I work a lot at the time. Like I was working more. They just told us that we're not allowed to work as much with my nurse extern job, but I was working a lot. I was in school a lot. Couldn't swing it while I was in school, but now that I'm out of school and I'm like actually working a job, I have a little bit more money. Yes, I have lots of debt to pay off, yes. But you know, I kind of am under the, not impression, but the mindset of like, you never know what can happen today, tomorrow, whatever. We're not guaranteed the next day. So I'm going to try what I can in the meantime to get to where I want to be overall. And the debt's not going to go anywhere. Like I got to pay that off. So I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm neglecting these other aspects of my life, of my family, my daughter, just so I can get some debt paid off. Girl, my health and wellness is going to come first. The health and wellness of my family is going to come first. So we're going to get this Cook Unity subscription because my mom's very busy. I'm very busy. I don't feel like meal prepping. When I come home off a 12-hour shift, I work nights. I don't want to sit here and be making food. I don't want to meal prep. I don't want to do that stuff right now. Maybe a little bit further down the line, I will be able to have time to do that. That's the goal. But as of right now, I was like, I need something a little bit sooner where I can kind of just start, you know what I mean? And not have to worry so much about food, because my condition is also kind of like, food plays a big part on the hormones and on flare-ups in general. So having a food subscription where I can have curated meals and meals that kind of are geared towards anti-inflammatory dieting, so like Mediterranean diet, I can just pick from the type of food that looks good, fits into my requirements and my needs. Yeah, that's kind of just what I'm going to go with right now. I was trying to do like maybe chat GPT, hey, what's some recipes, anti-inflammatory recipes that I can make this, that, and the third, or even, you know, maybe like kind of a cheaper service of like, okay, let me make the meals, like a HelloFresh or something like that, get the box itself, make the meals, whatever. But I don't feel like doing that. I don't feel like making meals. I don't feel like preparing meals. I feel like putting it in the microwave, warming it up, and eating it. That's what I feel like doing. So anyways, I have the subscription that is 8 meals a week. It's supposed to be coming today, the first week, so I'm super excited to see what that's going to be like. The main range that I'm going to be paying is going to be $100 a week. And right now, I think it was like my first box was like $50 or $60, and then I have a couple more discounts for a couple more boxes, and then it's going to go down to the full price. Well, go up to the full price amount. So like I said, that's going to be pretty much what we're sitting at for that. And like I said, I'm excited about it. You go to the store, you buy groceries. I'm investing in myself. I'm investing in my well-being. That's just what it is right now. So I'm not mad about it. It's in turn helping me, because I'm like, if I was to go to the grocery store and buy healthy foods every week where, you know, I can make healthy stuff and then meal prep it, that's going to take more time than this, and it's going to cost about the same. So that's what we're gonna do for now. I also want to throw my ClassPass in here. I don't have ClassPass just yet, and then when I get ClassPass, they have a like 2 weeks free thing, but I know that I'm gonna do it because, for one, I have like ADD, so doing the same workout is gonna be super boring for me if I do the same workout for too long. So I want to be able to move around, have a lot of different things that I can do. And then also with my condition, it's very important for me to do like high impact but low friction workouts. So I want like full body workouts, all types of calorie burning, but I can't do like all the running, all the arm lifting, like just the vigorous, like your armpits, your thighs, those areas, like high friction areas. I cannot continue to exercise in the way that I would be looking to exercise in, like the F45 Orange Theory type exercise, like HIIT workouts. I can't really do that right now while I'm so heavy and my thighs are so like, you know, like clumped together. You know what I'm talking about. Like when you're on the thicker side, that's more pressure on your legs when you're walking. That's more pressure on your legs, your arms, under your boobs, just all of those high friction areas. Those are prone to flaring up because of the friction. And so me doing lower intensity, like friction wise workouts, that's best for me. So you got your Pilates, your Pure Barre, your yoga. Those are the types of things I need to be doing. And the subscriptions for those are super expensive. Like the monthly subscriptions, like 4 classes, 8 classes a month, $200. I cannot swing that right now. I know that, you know, ClassPass is controversial, but this is kind of what I need for my health right now. Hopefully I kind of figure out which one I want to do full time, and then I'll probably buy the unlimited pass for them once I can swing it. But as of right now, I'm going to be doing ClassPass, trying to get my 2 to 3 sessions in a week, if not more, in these different types of curated, guided, low friction exercises, which I'm super excited about. So I'm thinking I'm going to be doing, like, I think it's 39 credits for $80. I think that's the pass that I want to do. It's going to be $80 a month, but $20 a week, and I'm kind of going off of like weekly price points. This is a week, this is a month, so this is going to break down to like $15, $17 a week. So yes, this so far are all of my bills that I have. I did want to calculate the total because that's kind of like the base of what I need to have coming in each month. So let's go ahead and calculate this. We'll do it in a weekly amount. That's what we'll do. So we'll do 35 plus 340 plus 17 plus 100 plus 20. So 512. Oh no. Hold on. I just got... Okay. So this equals $512 a week, just outwardly, that I need to have coming in. That's actually so much money, and it's so much money mainly because of Honora's daycare. This is a huge chunk of guap, but that's basically what I need to have coming in every week, which is $2,000 a month, which is quite a bit of money. Like, that's why I like to break it down, because I'm like, wow, that's actually a lot of money that needs to be had every week. And this is just like base stuff. This is not like, oh, I pay rent right now. You know what I mean? But anyways, yes. So these are my current bills: gas, daycare, sports, my health and wellness stuff. So yes, this is how much we need to have on a revolving basis. So the next thing that I wanted to get into is going to be the cash envelopes that we will be using for this season of cash budgeting. And debt payoff. And by season, I mean like this time around. Like this season of my life when we're paying off my debt. So let's get into it. Alrighty, so we have my 2 budget binders that we are going to be using for this journey of mine. We have my long-term sinking. So we've got some sinking funds, some long-term in here. We'll go over this. And then we have my cash envelopes. This is my actual wallet that I use. So let's kind of go over what's in both of these. So we first have my wallet that I use. If you know, you know. If you watched my last debt payoff journey, I got this. This is by Kia Budgets. Absolutely love this. I get lots of compliments on this. Absolutely stunning. It's definitely worn. I've been using it for about 1.5 years now. It's she worn. She worn for real, but that's okay. I think it works great. I love that we have our cash envelopes in here. So let's go ahead and talk about it, okay? So yeah, like I said, we're going to be using this to cash stuff my cash envelopes. So let's go over what we have. Actually, I'll just do this so that you guys can see it a little bit better because she's playing with me right now. So we have our little thing here. So then we have these several envelopes. I think this is maybe 6 envelopes in here. So these are my old ones that I use. You can't really see anything. They're very like damaged. They're very dirty, very old. So I did get some replacements just so that they can look really pretty and really cute for you guys to watch. Just because, like I said, like you kind of have to, like I'm showing you guys, so I want it to look good. So I got some new ones. So these are the old ones. These were really, really cute though. I really did like them, but they're a little small, hard to see from far away where the camera is. So that's that. So let's look at the new ones that I got. So I wanted to show you guys, these are also from Kia Budgets. I just love her vibe and her style. She's also so sweet. I just wanted to show you guys this because y'all can order from her if you want. I will leave the links down below, especially if you like the envelopes that you see here. Definitely go ahead and get these from my girl, Kia Budgets. Like I said, I got my wallet from her. She also has some different wallets on her page right now, her Etsy page. Shoot, I would have loved to got one of those, but you know, we're trying to save some money right now. But yes, definitely go find her and grab some stuff from her. So yes, this is just her little business card. Super cutesy. Yep. So I went and got my cash envelopes from her. She gave me a free little cash breakdown slip, which I never use, but super cute, super adorable. And it's laminated, which I love. So we have that. And then let's talk about the envelopes that we have. So we have Miss Wellness, because y'all know I'm really, really big on wellness this year and definitely getting my stuff in check. So we have Wellness. We have Spa, because that also has to do with your wellness, your mental health, all of that stuff. I will definitely still be getting my nails done. I don't like, I'm getting my nails done. Okay, so then we have Gas as well, which is gonna go up here first. I'm trying to figure out which order I wanted to have these in. We have restaurants. I'm definitely not intending on using this too much right now at all, because like I said, I already have my Cook Unity coming. If we're eating out as a family, somebody else is gonna have to buy that. I'm trying to really keep myself in check here, so I'm not going to be using this anytime soon, but I wanted to have it and not be ignorant to the fact that I will need to have something for this at some point so that I have the freedom to eat out and all that good stuff. We also have necessities, which is just like miscellaneous and things like that for the week. And then lastly but not least, we have Baby Girl. Any little weekly expenses that I have for her, I'm going to put in here because these are my cash envelopes. These are weekly expenses. So yes, these are super, super cute, super pretty, super vibey. They're holographic, which I love. So let me put these in the right order. We have Gas Baby Girl, and then we have Wellness. I pay for wellness more than I will pay for spa. My nail appointments are like maybe 2 times a month max, so that's not something that I'm going to be just doing all the time. And then we do restaurants, if I can get it in here, and then we have necessities. So yeah, these are super duper duper cute. Definitely pink, girly, aesthetic, vibey. So we have our little beautiful flowers. Then we have Miss Gas, Baby Girl, Wellness, Spa, Restaurants, and Necessities. Hopefully y'all could see that because we were not laying down flat, but I just showed y'all everything anyways. So super super cute. If you like these, definitely click my link down below. It'll take you straight to her Etsy page, especially if these are there. It'll take you to her Etsy page. If these are still on there, then it'll take you directly to this link here. So yes, that's how we are going to go about our cash envelopes and all of these little expenses and purchases and bills that we have on a weekly basis. So yes, this is my everyday spending binder. Just gonna go ahead and close this one up. And then we have my Big Mama here. This has like my longer term, my bigger monies go in here. So let's open this up. We can just go over the envelopes that are in here. Let's open this. So the first and foremost that we have is Miss Debt. This is the one we're going to be in the most. So we have Miss Debt here. We have continued education and expenses. Now that I'm a nurse, say for instance, that would be like my NCLEX expenses. I've already paid for that stuff though. $400, by the way, if you're not aware and you're going into nursing and you want to know, oh, how much is the NCLEX and the state test and all that stuff? It's around $400 of fees for that test. I want to get my CCRN now that y'all know that I will be an ICU nurse. That's kind of the natural segue, is having like those specifications for your license, having those little letters behind your name, ACLS, stuff like that. I also have my holiday season. We are not focused on this at all this year. I'm focused on getting my $20,000 of consumer debt paid down. So we will revisit her at a later time. We also have Miss Emergency Fund here. Like I said, my priority is to get all my debt chunked down, but we'll definitely come back to all of these other ones later on. So we have Emergency Fund, we have Rainy Day, we have Anora's savings, and then we have my little retirement funds for that Roth IRA once I get back on track with that. So yeah, these are all of my little envelopes. My main envelopes is going to be debt, and then my weekly cash envelopes. So yeah, this is where all of the money that I'm going to be chunking onto my debt and my credit cards and all that stuff is going to go. And then we just have all of our other ones as well. Also, if you like these envelopes, I will link them down below as well. I got these, you know, the last time I did my debt payoff, but if they're there, I will link them. If it's just the shop and then these are not available, I'll link the shop. You might find something else that you like there as well. And then also this envelope is from Simple Budget Plans, and not envelope, sorry. This budget binder is from Simple Budget Plans, and I will link this down below as well. She probably won't have this exact one available, but like I said, you might like something else on her shop if her shop is still up. So yeah, I will go ahead and link that down below. So yeah, these are the binders that I will be using and the cash envelopes that I'll be using. I'm super excited for my new cash envelopes, the beautiful little butterflies, and then I'm also super excited for my little debt envelope in here. I'm so excited to throw lots of money into her so that I can get rid of this debt. You guys have no idea how excited I am to start this journey and just finally get this off of my shoulders, off my back, off my chest. Like, girl, seeing that money just trickle up, the interest, bam, bam, bam. Like, I am so ready to get this paid off. So yes, that is what we have for my envelopes. Alrighty, on to the next thing, which is gonna be my credit card payoff order. I'm gonna go ahead and write that down for you guys as well, so you guys can see which flow I'm going to be doing, whether we're gonna be doing like snowball, avalanche, kind of just based on like the numbers and the stipulations of each card. For whatever reason, my candle blew itself out, so I had to go ahead and, you know, turn her back on. Alrighty, we're just gonna continue on this page, and we will just go over all of the numbers. We could really do like right here, honestly. All right. So, as you guys know, I'm just gonna go ahead and write down the totals and all that good stuff. The card, the totals, and the order in which we're gonna pay it off, and like kind of why we're gonna be doing it that way, just so you guys know, because it's like sort of like an avalanche snowball type method. So anyways, so the first thing that we're gonna go ahead and pay off is going to be I want to say yeah, let's say my Visa credit card. So the Visa credit card is the smallest balance that I have at 500, whoa, at $593. I want to pay this one off first because it's a Visa, and I live, you know, around a Costco, and Costco only takes Visa. So if I wanted to go to Costco and get anything at any moment, this is the only card I could use it on, except for like maybe a debit card. However, you know how all these breaches have been going. Not that I don't trust Costco, but there's been a lot of breaches for my comfort, so I prefer to use a credit card if I'm gonna use like a card somewhere and not my debit. Like, yes, you know, according to Caleb Hammer, I'm not a credit card person. Yeah, we get that, whatever. But as far as like realistically, like y'all know, y'all have been here before. Y'all know I know how to pay some debt down, right? And not, well, I'm not gonna say not accrue it, because I accrued it. I accrued it back again. It wasn't for frivolous reasons though. And if I didn't go to nursing school, it wouldn't have happened. However, like I said, I just don't want to use my debit card and then my whole account has no money in it, or it's locked, or whatever is going on with these. Like, one of my banks are already a little sketch, so I just want to go ahead and get her paid off and be able to use it there if necessary. You know, I may get gas from there as well. They only take Visa. So yeah, definitely want to go ahead and get her paid down first. So in that regard, that's kind of like a snowball, because you're starting with your smallest first and then going up the pipeline. But yeah, we have that one. The second one I want to go ahead and start paying. This is not my second lowest, but because it has some stipulations. So let's say my Bank of America card, her balance is sitting at 24.36. She's sitting at 24.36. She is 0% interest until July 12th. So on July 12th, she will be out of her promotional era, and then I think a couple $100s of interest will be tacked on. I obviously don't want to pay the couple $100s of interest if I can help it, so that's why I want to go ahead and get her paid off second. Are these big enough for y'all to see? Oh, hold on. I want these to be a little bit bigger. Okay, I do write big naturally, but that just didn't seem big enough. Okay, so first and second, and then we'll kind of jump back in line. So my next smallest, it would be my Apple card. My Apple card is sitting at 1431. So that's the next one that I would want to get paid off. So it's first, second, and third. And then after that, we have the Capital One, who has the biggest interest, which is crazy work. Capital One. But it's not my highest. So I'm like, I kind of want to go ahead and do that so that I can do that lump sum payment, which is more so like the Avalanche. So we're kind of doing a hybrid method here. So my Capital One is sitting at 2909. And this is before any cash stuffing, so I haven't been able to put any chunk on anything yet. So yes, that will be the next video after we get our mind right, get the game plan situated, ready to go. We will start chunking onto these as I am able to, based on my work and all of that good stuff. So yeah, we have that Capital One there. And then next we have Discover. Discover is my largest credit card balance. But it's not going to be my last one because we have another one, but that one has decent stipulations on that where that allows me to pay that off a little bit later. So the Discover right now is sitting at the 94.95. So this is where Discover is sitting, and she's going to be the fifth one that I go and pay off because I want to be able to put like 1,000 at a time on her. Now, mind you, these are still going to be getting their minimum payments because I have slight dyslexia. So if I don't do the minimum payment, I'm going to get confused. So everything that I'm going to be chunking on is going to be extra in excess of the minimum payment, because if I stop the minimum payments, like, okay, I'm going to stop the minimum payments for this and just keep them on here, but then I'm going to lump sum, like, I'm going to get confused, and then somebody's going to be like, oh, hey, you didn't pay me, here's a fee. I don't have time for that. So on top of the minimum, we will chunk more on. Now, obviously, at some point, I think with them being on auto, and if they see that I put a chunk on there, then it won't auto out the minimum. So I'm gonna let it handle itself because I still owe a lot. So it's not like I'm gonna overpay. They don't even let you do that. So I'm gonna let it handle itself, basically. So the last one that we have, the last like consumer credit card type one that we have is gonna be my Rooms To Go. I already told you about my Rooms To Go experience. And that one is sitting at 25.98, and I'm gonna pay this one last. What is this, 25? I'm gonna pay this one last because this one is 5 years interest free. I think it's been around a year now. I think this was closer to 3,000, 3,100. It's been about a year now. Like I said, they're all still getting their minimums, but this is no interest until like 2029. So there's no point in me trying to pay this off just because it's one of my lower ones. Because she's getting her, what, $35 to $75 a month, or however much it is. And then once I'm able to get everything else with nothing, then we'll pay this off. Because Discover, she's my second highest interest, I think. Yeah, my second highest interest. So I'm not gonna not pay her down just because this one is where this is at. So yeah, so far this is all of my, hold on y'all, move this over so it can be nice and clear. So yeah, these are all of my cards. This is the order in which we will be paying them off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, and then obviously the student loans after that. My student loan deferment will start, like it'll stop in November, so that's when my payments will need to begin, and I'm going to be doing income based so that it's closer to around $200 a month instead of $500 a month, so I can do that. I'm not going to worry about that right now. All of these honestly should be paid off by then, so that my only real bill as far as debt will be that, and I'm not lump summing, I'm not chunking that at all. I'm not going to pay extra on that. The most I'll do is pay down the interest so that the interest is not accruing interest, because that's something that I've heard to do, but I'm not going to try to pay out tens of thousands of my student loan debt, just because I do plan on going back to school and I want to save tangible money, tangible liquid money, instead of paying off debt that I'm just about to get back into. And that once I finish my grad program, I'll be able to pay back in a year or two. You know what I mean? There's no point. Like, even accruing more debt, I'll be able to pay that off in a year or two based on that next salary. So I'm not going to worry about it. So yes, this is how we're looking for everything so far. This is the order in which we will be paying things. I'm super excited to get into it with you guys. So yes. Alrighty, so the next thing I want to talk to you guys about is my debt tracker. Yes, like I said last time we were here, last time we had the blueprint, baby. Like, that let me know how we needed to conduct everyone from here on out. So we got us a debt tracker. I went ahead and made this. I made this on Canva. This is a 5K tracker, and then I have 5 pages on here. So this is a total of 25,000. My consumer debt is 20,000, so it's gonna cover us for that amount of time. So I'm super excited about that. As you can see, we have $100, 25, 250. Even the letters here have values so that everything can be colored in and used as tracking. This whole term is $575. Like, we have, yeah, she's looking real cute. So this is the tracker that I will be using to pay off my debt, help us keep track of the debt that we are paying off. I think at somewhere I'm gonna write like my credit score, or maybe like on the day that I pay the debt down, I'll probably write my credit score, because last time, anytime I colored in one, I believe I don't think I put the date. I think I put how much I paid. I don't know. This time I'm going to put the date in so I can know, like, okay, on this day you put this much in and this was your credit score. That's how I want to keep track of that, so don't let me forget. But yes, this is her. I also wanted to mention to you guys, just so like we're all on the same page. So now that we're here talking about my debt payoff tracker and just getting more talking about like the debt and all that stuff, let's talk about emergency fund. So, you know, y'all know I watch some Caleb Hammer from time to time, and you know, he goes off the principles of Dave Ramsey with like kind of hybrid, kind of, you know, it's based on the person, the individual. It's, you know, customizable game plan. So for me, I decided that when I was still in school and I was working here and there, I wanted to have an emergency fund for 1 month's rent, as well as my daughter's tuition. I wanted 2 months of my daughter's tuition. 1 month rent, because I feel like that's standard, not like the bills and utilities, but the 1 month rent, because at some point our financial situation as a household was looking a little, it was looking a little like a hot mess. I was like, if I can make sure that I alone have at least a month of roof over our head, like, we're good. Like, we have some place to sleep at night, I'm content with that. I don't need to have the bills and this, that, and the third, but like roof overhead amount, I want to get that in my bank account as soon as possible, and I don't want to waver from that. As well as the next most important expense that I have is my daughter's daycare. So I wanted to make sure, and that's a weekly expense that comes out weekly. So that like compounds quickly. You know what I mean? It's not like, okay, you know, $1,400 gonna come out each month, and I don't have to worry about it till the next month. Like, no, she comes out weekly. So that's something that I'm always thinking about. So I wanted to have that amount saved up in my bank account as well, in a high yield savings, so that that amount altogether can grow interest. So I accomplished that. So I'm able to start off this debt journey with an emergency fund, which I was not able to do prior to that, which I'm so thankful for now. And I feel like never before has it been as important as it is now, because there are several members in my household. We live in a pretty like expensive house just because of the number of people that live here and the room configuration, you know, as well as Anora's daycare being super important, that it gets paid. We can't be late on that. That's my daughter being taken care of week by week by week, you know? So I needed to make sure that I have that. So far in my Ally emergency fund, I have $3,500 as my 1 month rent. Our 1 month rent is like 3,400 and some change, which it's expensive to me. And I think in the grand scheme, it's expensive, but for what we have, it's good. It's a good price for what we have. I know lots of people are renting apartments, 1,500 for a 2 bedroom, 2,000 for a 3-2, and we have, I think, a 4.5. So I think that's pretty good. A pretty good deal. Pretty good, you know. So anyways, like I said, I wanted to make sure that we had that amount saved up in the bank account just in case, you know, somebody was like, oh, we're going to be tight this month. Like, do we have money anywhere that we can pull from? Because my family is very much so generational household. We're very much so on that generational type hustle where we're all working together to achieve the common goal for us, which is having a house, being comfortable, being able to live life, not struggling. So we have kind of made the decision to kind of like come together and not be divided. Like, okay, you graduated or you have a good job, so you move out, and you've done the same. So yeah, y'all might as well go ahead and get your own place. Like, we're kind of more along the lines of like, let's all stay together. We know we want to retire mom soon. We're also taking care of a veteran, like I told y'all before. So it's like together, y'all know the sayings like together as one is better or whatever I'm trying to say, but y'all know you can conquer more together as a team than divided. So that's kind of our plan. So that's why I wanted to make sure that I had at least a month saved up on my part. So if anybody's like, oh, okay, it's looking a little wonky this week or this month, can we pull from anywhere? Like, are our backs against the wall or whatever? No, we're not. We have something. And then with Anora, nobody helps me with Anora's daycare expenses. So I'm like, I need to make sure that I have as much saved as I can. I think like more than 3 months is a little overkill in my opinion. So that's why I did 2 months in the Ally and then a month's worth, or at least 2 months worth. I think I have 2.5 months in the Ally because Ally is getting interest on me, you know, so that works for me. And the rest is sitting in a savings account that the daycare is pulling the money from every week, and that doesn't have interest going towards it. So I was like, girl, I'm not gonna have $1,000, $2,000 sitting in here for what? When I could have that same amount in the Ally gaining interest. So that's kind of how I did that. So yeah, like I said, I'm very grateful to be able to start this journey with an emergency fund. But I just wanted all of us to be on the same page so that y'all knew that, and it wasn't like, oh, okay, like, are you, you know, struggling, or what? Like, yeah, I'm trying to get this debt paid off, but grand scheme of things, I have that little reservoir for if anything hits the fan, we have something, you know. But anyways, sorry, like I said, I'm still a little bit under the weather. Brain be a little bit cloudy. But yes, so that's the main thing about that. That's why we have our debt tracker here, so I'm able to track my debt. But emergency fund, we have started that now. That's not the amount emergency fund that I want. I want more than that in there, but that's something to get us started to the point where, like I said, me being a mom and helping with a household of 6 people, like, I need to make sure I'm on my P's and my Q's as far as like, if anything was to happen, like, we have something ready to go. We're not just like all looking at each other crazy. So I wanted to make sure I had that situated, and I didn't have to ask anybody for, oh, can you give me, you know, some money for Anora's daycare. I wanted to make sure that I'm always gonna have that situated. So yeah, because I was kind of gonna ask y'all like, well, if I have, because that's like $6,000, should I just put that toward my debt since my debt is getting interest? Like, should I just, you know, because I can make this back, blah blah blah. But now that I think about it, I'm like, yeah, it's like kind of a lot of money, but like it's not, because they have a purpose. Like $3,500, that can go like that in 1 month rent. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, there's $6,000 saving in there, and it's, you know, waiting and accruing interest and all that good stuff. It could be gone like that if need be. So I feel like I'm just gonna keep that in there and work on my debt separately. So I think that's how I want to go about things when it comes to that. So yeah, I think that's how we're gonna go with it. and do things. We're just gonna pay off debt separately. I'm not gonna do a lump sum, take all that money out of the Ally, do a lump sum, and then try and build my emergency fund back, because I feel like I'll put myself in a worse position than I am now, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's how we're gonna go about that. So the last thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about was going to be my financial goals for this year, and just like where we're going as far as like the videos and what we expect from just this journey alone. So my main goal for this journey is to absolutely pay off my consumer debt. I kind of already explained, like, I want to get my credit cards done. That's the most important thing for me, is getting my credit card payments down to zero, getting everything paid off. Maybe keeping them active, maybe letting a couple of them close. I don't exactly know how I want to go about that yet. My main thing is just paying them off. I don't really see myself doing like a debt consolidation, because more than like, I'm not paying any rent right now, so I know I'm going to be able to avalanche most of this, right? So I'm not, we're just going to do it the old-fashioned way, basically, and just get her done, get her paid off, and rejoice. So that's the vibes on that. My first and main goal is that credit card debt down. My second goal, like I said, we have 6,000, around 6,000 in my Ally savings for my emergency fund. I believe I want to get my emergency fund up to about 10K before the end of this year. Like I said, I'm going to keep my buckets the same. Like, I want to make sure I have 2.5 months of Honora's daycare expenses in there at all times, and then a month of rent, base rent at all times, and then the rest is going to be like just extra emergency fund for this, that, and the third. Basically, just in there accruing interest. I think 10K is a nice sounding number, and then not really touch that. Just let that kind of just build up in there, and then you guys can let me know, like, once we get to that point, like, what should I do? Should I add this? Like, should I add a certain amount to it monthly, or should I be putting that towards retirement, or however that's gonna go? So we'll revisit that later. But the third thing that I want to do, you know, like I said, I'm very big on health and wellness for myself this year. I feel like that's kind of like a more weekly expense, cash envelopes type of thing. I've definitely written down a list for myself of like New Year's resolutions type of thing, of like what I see for myself, what I want for myself in a more personal regard, just like my health and wellness, like making sure I'm, you know, making my flare-ups less and doing what I can to make those as infrequent as possible. And that comes with, you know, fitness subscription and food service and all that good stuff. So that's that. But another thing that we want as a household, at first it was kind of a car, because I want us to get, you know, I wanted myself to get a new car, a bigger car that, you know, me and Honora can kind of grow into and all that good stuff. But like I said, as we are doing more and more as a family and as a household, I'm thinking that's changing. Like, the roles are changing. Like I said, we're trying to retire my mom, me and my older brother, and my younger brother. We're trying to get our household in check here. So I feel like somebody else is, based on our plans, I'm looking to have somebody else purchase the family hauler type car and not have that in my name, because that's going to be more debt on my part, and we're trying to get a house. So my third thing is, we're trying to save for a house. Me, my older brother, and my younger brother get a house together. Obviously, the people that we're taking care of and my mom that we're retiring all moved there. We all have a nice, big, beautiful house that we finally own. That's the thing. I'm not rushing to that though, because I want us to move in very comfortably. I don't want us to get screwed on a high interest rate because our credit scores aren't high enough. That's why I'm wanting to take this time to pay my debt off, get everything clean and clear, make sure my brothers, all their stuff is clean and clear, and then we're just saving for the earnest. And then once that earnest is paid, design studio, all that good stuff, now we're saving extra on top of that for the down payment. But we already have a chunk ready to go for that experience. That's like the biggest thing for me, and that's why I'm like, I don't want us to put the people who are going on the house, I don't want us to put car loans in our names. So the people that are not going in the house, maybe we'll maneuver that and figure out how that goes. But now my priority, like, it used to be a car, but now it's not necessarily a car, because we're getting closer to potentially starting the process of getting a house. So that's why I'm like, we need to chunk all this debt down. We need to get this figured out, get the debt paid off, so that I can get my credit score up, brother's credit scores up, saving for the house as much as we can. Get a nice emergency fund so that that can be put aside, and then save for the house as much as we can by the time we go ahead and start that process. The cars will come at some point. I don't know exactly how we're going to maneuver that, but my biggest thing is the house. Making sure that I'm financially stable, making sure that my needs and my daughter's needs are taken care of, health, wellness, education, all of that wise, and then making sure my household is ready to be in a position to go ahead and purchase a home in the next year, year and a half, which I'm super excited about. So yes, that kind of concludes everything that we're talking about in this video. Thank you guys so much for joining me and listening to my game plan. I'm so excited to start literally doing this, putting the plan in action and actually seeing the benefits of having everything laid out and putting money towards the various reasons that we are doing this for. So I'm super excited. I wanted to ask you guys, what are your payoff plans? How much do you owe, if you don't mind sharing? What's your goals for this year? Just literally, we're in this together. I'm so excited to just be on this journey with you guys and show you and experience this with you, and I'm hoping you guys let me in on your journeys as well. I'm so excited for us here in this moment and for this season of life that we're in. We are about to literally get it going, girl. Okay, so I'm super excited about that. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. I always appreciate and love you guys, and yeah, I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.